Hey, we're back. All right, finally. So we're having a little technical difficulties getting on, but I think it worked. I think we're back. I think it's working. So we're gonna try our best. Sorry for the delay, guys, but we're gonna get into it. So we'll give you guys a couple minutes to tune in and kind of see where we're at from there, and we'll get going with it. So it should be pretty good. So as you guys have seen on Wednesdays, I like to do a little word game with you guys, see how that goes, and it's been going pretty good. So I think we'll continue going with it and see where it takes us from there. So every every day, kind of choose a different letter and see where it goes from there, and we kind of work our way up to more letters within the word and more difficult words. So we're gonna take it from there and kind of see where it goes. So it should be pretty good. Should be fun for you guys, and hopefully everything is good. So today is it's a lovely evening, about noontime. It's a great Wednesday we got here, and it's April 15th. So we're doing pretty good. It's a beautiful day outside. Woke up to the birds chirping, and the landscapers outside working. So that's it's always nice to see people out and about. And a lot of times with all this going on, we have many different people all around, and a lot of people are home. So it's pretty nice to see them out and walking and kind of be able to get going and get on with things and try to make the most of what they can while they can. So it's pretty cool. I've been seeing a lot of things online, like since none of these gyms are open, a lot of people are tending to make little workout routines or workout what's it called? Not a facility, but a little get up to help them work out, and everyone's doing a little bit something different, which is pretty cool because I haven't seen many of people doing like the same things. So that's always pretty cool, and it's cool to see what people think about and how different like their minds work and how different their imagination is. So it's pretty cool. So I like thinking about it, but you got to get out there, you got to stay active, you got to be walking, you got to run, jog, you got to keep up, and that's you got to stay healthy as you can with all this going on. So it's extremely scary, and we're gonna hope for the best. So that's all we could do. But it's a beautiful day out, so hopefully you guys are getting out, getting to soak up some of the sun. It's beautiful, but it's nice. So pretty cool. It should be a great day for you guys. So we're gonna make the most of it. Hopefully you guys are doing something fun. It's the middle of the week, but hey, we're getting there. It's coming. We're almost to Friday, so we're getting closer and closer to the end of this. That's what we're looking for, and that's what we want, and what we're striving to. So we're making the most of it. We're hoping that everyone is healthy, everyone is staying active and making the most of what they got. So back to what I was going with. So I was thinking with you guys, we'll do maybe guess the word or words that start with however you guys might want to interpret it. But I did do a couple letters so far. I don't believe that I did the letter F. So I thought maybe we'll try to start off with the letter F today. So we're gonna do words that start with the letter F, and I'll give you some hints and see if you guys can come and guess what I was getting at. But we'll take it. We'll take what you're giving me. So it'll work. So we're gonna start off with some three-letter words maybe that aren't as difficult and aren't too bad, and hopefully you guys should try and be able to get them. So with this first word, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent, but we'll see. So the other day, I'm watching TV, and all of a sudden I see it had to have been like Animal Planet or something. I don't know the TV station, but all of a sudden I'm noticing that it's all about sharks and like basically people out there and talking about them, and all this stuff going on about them. So I'm looking and I'm like, it can't be Shark Week. It's not Shark Week yet. And like I'm not that big and that into it, but I see in this and all of a sudden I'm looking down the line and I go to the guide on the TV and you kind of scroll to see how long this is going to go on for. This thing was on for like 2 days straight, so I'm looking around thinking all about it, but I don't think it is yet. So away from that tangent, but sharks was what I was thinking about, and going from there, we'll kind of. It's a word that starts with the letter F, and I think you guys should be able to get it. We go two different words, maybe two different words I could think about that might go along with it. So let's just kind of go along with this word. So sharks are in the water. They're a type of animal. They're a type of fish. They like to swim around within the ocean. So the whole time they're not coming up. They're not looking for they're in the water the whole time. So they need these special things in which we might not have. Basically to help get around. They almost act as legs or even as what's the word for it? Legs or arms to help us get around and help them kind of swim and get from place A to place B, and it's pretty cool because if you think about it, we don't really have them. You think about whales, you see them a lot with these special things on them. Mm, there's a lot of different ways to go about this word, but I was also thinking a lot of times you might hear about like something like a surfboard or like boats. Boats a lot of times might have these on the bottom of them. Kind of helps them to guide them where they're going and kind of helps to for direction and which they want to angle. So what do you guys think? Can we get any takers? I think they know what it is. I think was it? Hmm? Yep. So we got it, fin. So a lot of these animals like to have fins. They have fins, and it helps them kind of guide them around and swim and do all different types of things. So pretty cool. So so this is another word. Starts with the letter F. It should be three letters. And many different ways to go about it. So we'll take it back. So this is probably maybe when your kids were kids, or even maybe with some of your grandkids you watch. This is like it was probably a show from when I was growing up. Um, I've seen a couple things. It was called like Bob the Builder, and there's many different ways to go about it, but a lot of times in a show like that, they're doing a lot of things either around the house or around town, or there's a lot of shows within what's the station? I want to say it's like HGTV, and it's a whole thing about houses and homes and kind of renovating different things within these people's possessions, and it's pretty cool to see what they're able to do to it, and just to think about. So we'll go a little bit different with this topic, but just something say something's broken and you want to make sure that it works. You're gonna have to do something to it to make sure it works, and hopefully that didn't give it away, but that's kind of what I was going for, where I'm going with that. So it's pretty cool because there's many different ways to think about it. A lot of times you might have someone do this to your car when it's broken. You might call someone in, say one of your pipes broke or burst within in your house. You might call a plumber to come in and kind of take care of it for you to make sure that it gets all cleaned up and they take nice care of you. A lot of times you might hear with like an oil burner. It might go in their house and they might have someone come out and do this for them to make sure it's working, so they have heat, so they have hot water. So, oh, I think so. Very good. Yes. There's a lot of times you're gonna have to fix a lot of things. So, once you start owning a home, there's a lot of things that go into it. So, first you're kind of trying to fix all the things that were broken in the house to start off with. After that, you're gonna start to renovate and fix these things, basically to your liking and to how you want to view them and things like that. So it's pretty cool. It's something different that a lot of you guys probably have done throughout the years. You guys have gone through it yourselves. I haven't got the chance to go through it yet. I'm still working my way up, still progressing. So it's gonna be coming. It's coming shortly. We're hoping for all this to get better. So you're gonna fix a lot of things. I had to have the opportunity to fix a lot of things throughout my time so far. I'm not that old, but I'm getting there. So, I mean, I've had to fix a lot of things. Things on my car have gone that I've had to fix. Things that are broken. Sometimes you gotta fix everything. You gotta fix the door. Anything and everything you can fix. So pretty much that's how it's gonna go and how it happens. So pretty good. Now I got a pretty good one for some of you guys. I think a lot of you guys have done this a lot. There's many different ways. There's a couple different ways of doing it. There's many different places to do this, or even go with doing this. And I don't know if you're catching the drift of where I'm going with it, but I'm trying to start off very vague, and I'm working my way up into a more detailed explanation. So we'll see where it goes from there, but I'm trying. So we're gonna see where it goes, but pretty good. It should be good, and I think it's been working. So we'll see how it goes. And any points or tips, I'm always open for help. So what I was thinking was, so basically within your lifetime, you guys are gonna go many different places, and there's there's a good amount of different ways to travel and kind of to transport your stuff and different ways to do things. But I was thinking for some people they don't like to drive that much. They don't want to sit in the car for a long period of time. They might, I mean, depending on where they're going, I guess essentially could be another part of it, but depending on where you're going, say we're going to California that or Florida. Florida, you're looking at about a day's drive. California, you're looking at about a little bit longer of a drive, but hey, that could work. That's some people like to do that. Some people it's not so much their cup of tea. Now, other people, they might take the train. The train is definitely another form of transportation and a way to get around and kind of another way to help people get from point A to point B, and it's another way for people to kind of get around without a car. And some people don't always have a car. It's always a way. And there's many different ways to do it. You don't have to travel with your car. You can travel with your car. Many different ways to do it, but with a train, pretty easy. You get on this type of vehicle at a station, and you kind of just take a seat and you take it wherever you need to go. Sometimes you have to do a transfer, sometimes not, but it's usually a little bit longer since it's got more stops on it, as well as something as like a bus. A bus, you're gonna have to use a lot of your time in taking places, and a lot of times they do bus trips to different places, maybe something like the Hamptons during the summer, or out to Fire Island, or even I've heard about them doing some bus trips right out of the city for skiing uh, during the winter months of the year. So that's another form of transportation, of course. And going on with that, I was thinking, so those all are gonna take a significant amount of time, and driving isn't always the quickest. A train isn't always the quickest. A bus might not always be the quickest, but I guess it depends on where you're going and the circumstances within that. So it might be different for you or for where you're going. But a lot of people, they like to take this type of transportation, say when they might be going overseas, or they might be going to a different country where it's going to be a little bit longer of a trip, and you're not going to want to you're going to want to try to make it as short as you can, because it's going to be a longer time trying to get there than you'll actually be able to spend there. So something like Florida, you might take a plane, looking at about 2 hours, 3 hours, not too bad. Going to California, you're still looking at about a couple hours, not too long, shorten down a couple of days. So that's definitely an alternative. And when you're taking a plane, there's you're going up in the sky, and you're going a lot faster than you would with a car or a train or a bus or a lot of different forms of transportation. So it's pretty cool to think about. And for instance, a lot of so oh man, going on about transportation, we're looking for words with F. So I'm trying to bring all this back together to show you where I'm going with this. But thinking about a plane, when a plane is taking off, they're going high into the sky, and they have a lot of they have a lot of things just like a bird would. When a bird is out doing this type of activity, and it's an activity for them as well as kind of a form of transportation for birds, and they like to do this little three-letter word thing, and since they have wings, they're able to. It's a little bit harder for us to do this type of activity since we don't have wings. We don't really have jetpacks. It's a little bit harder for us to do, but people still make it possible. They still make it apparent. And from a lot of times, you might hear about people skydiving. When they're skydiving, they feel like they're what? It's a word that I was looking for, 3 letters, but pretty cool. If you're a pilot, think about this. If you're a pilot, this is your job. This is what you have to do. You have to blank a plane. Very good. You got it. You got to fly a plane. Pretty cool. It must be a cool job. Must be a lot of fun, and I don't know how well I'd be able to do it. It's definitely very nerve-wracking, and wow, think back about it. One time I was in a little two-seater plane with one of my uncles, and he has a pilot's license, so he built this plane from scratch. He kind of got like one of those kits where you're able to build them all up. Essentially, hopefully, I mean, unless he just put this together with his bare hands, but he made it from his basically himself. He put all the things together, so that's awesome to know. He got his pilot's license, and then we went out to see him one day, and he was giving us all a ride. So all of a sudden, he's like teaching me how to steer it, because the little steering knob was right in the middle for both of us. So he was showing me how to do it. All of a sudden, he goes, "Hey, Steve, you want to learn how to you want to fly the plane?" Because he was kind of teaching me. He thought I was doing pretty good, and I'm like, "No, no, I really don't. This is pretty scary." He's like, "Oh, too bad," and he throws his hands up, and he makes me drive this plane. He's like, "All right, we're gonna do a little figure eight right over here," and that was very scary experience. It was definitely very fun though, and made me bring back a little memory that I thought about with flying. So pretty cool, something different, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. So you guys have been doing pretty good with this. Let's go on. Let's go on. I got do one more 3-letter word. Shouldn't be too bad. Or you know what? I'll go. Don't worry. Just work with me. All right. So I got an idea for you guys. So, all right. So I'm thinking of an animal. There's probably a lot of animals that start with the letter F, but let's take into consideration. We'll broaden the topic a little bit, or seclude bring the topic in a little bit. So from there, we think of animals that start with the letter F. Next thing, these animals, you're gonna find them in the woods, in the wilderness. They live in forests. There, there's a lot of them. You might have seen one in your lifetime. There's probably a good majority of people that have, and they're not as rare as you think. And a lot of times when you have more property and there's more wilderness apparent places, you're going to see a lot more of these things or these animals, excuse me. So kind of from there, it's pretty cool to think about that. So I guess we'll see what you guys can think of from there. So a little something different for you. Mm, there was or I think there is a TV show. It's for little kids, and one of the villains or the bad guys in the show is actually this animal. And I hope I didn't give it away. I think you guys might kind of know where I'm going with this, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see what you guys think. So it's an animal that starts with the letter F. You're gonna see them. You might have seen one in your lifetime. Probably a good majority of you have. I usually like to think of them as a type of orange color, and I don't know if it's just from this TV show, but I always remember. You could always remember the catchphrase, and it was something like "Swiper, no swiping," and it was pretty funny to think about that. So that was a little reference for you guys. I don't know if you'll remember it or if you guys were around for it, but it should be a pretty cool one. So we'll see. So. Yeah, the TV show was Dora the Explorer that I was thinking of. I don't watch much TV, so um, the animal in that was the villain was this type of animal. I like to compare them to dogs a lot of times because that's the closest animal you're gonna get, I would say, to it. They're uh, they're very similar to like wolves. That's another good way of thinking about it. But I always like to think of them as wild huskies, because huskies are very similar to this animal as well, and uh, huskies are very friendly. These aren't so much. They're a little bit different of a breed, but I think you guys might have gotten it. Let's see, what do you guys got for me? You guys got it. Fox. Fox. You see different breeds of them, and you might see them in some of these parks that have a little bit of a wildlife to it, or you might see them when you go upstate, or when you go out to an area that has a lot more like wildlife and wilderness and places like that where you might find them. So it's pretty cool to think about it. So, uh, oh, and then from there, let's see. So these animals, so a lot of animals. What are um? There's so a lot of animals have this type of what? Kind of like a skin, kind of like a way to protect themselves. We have it. It's known as hair. On animals, you might know a different name for it. So a lot of times you might have like a rug Like you might find a one of these made up into a rug. You might see ladies wearing these types of coats. They're usually fancy coats. They're usually very fancy and pretty expensive, but it's pretty cool to think about because I don't personally own one, but I hear that they're very warm because a lot of these animals, I guess you would say, wear that throughout these winter months. So, what do you think? It's another name for kind of like their skin or their or their what? Pretty good, their fur. So their fur is their everything. That's what keeps them warm within these winter months, and it's very necessary for some animals. And a lot of times you might see people with like fur coats or fur rugs where they have kind of got them from the animals, and pretty cool to think about. So this is our most important, I guess, activity or most important thing you got to do throughout the day, and you got to do it within everything that you can. You gotta have this type of feeling to get through a lot of things, and it's you got to make the most of things, and when you're making the most of them, you're gonna try to make them this type of thing. It's usually not a bad thing, usually a good thing. This is what you're hoping to have or hoping to do, and you're gonna want it in most cases, and you're gonna want to make a lot of things or as many things as you can this so that they're much more enjoyable. You want to go look for them. You're gonna want to go find them, and it's uh it's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to look forward to, and a lot of your hobbies you're gonna be doing this. A lot of things in which you guys like to do. Some things you might not like to do this. Oh man, trying to beat around the bush over here, but the ways to go about this are endless. So you never know what you're gonna do. So a lot of times you might call one of your friends or a couple of your friends to go out and have some of this and have some of that, and let's see what you guys can get from that. So I don't know. I don't know if I did that as a good definition or as an explanation, but we'll see. So let's see. The definition of it was actually providing enjoyment. So if that helps you guys out, broadens your horizon a little for that, that's another way to think about it. Pretty cool. But you got it. Yes, the word was fun. You gotta have fun in everything you do. You gotta make the most of everything to have fun. And realistically, when you're having fun while you're doing things, they're usually not so bad when you think about it. You gotta make your job fun. You gotta make work fun, so you'll look forward to going to it every day. A lot of times people don't have as much fun at their job as when they are out with their friends or out doing the things that they like to do, and work should always come as one of those for people, and you're gonna want to have as much fun as you can and the most fun you can throughout the day, and you got to make the most of everything. So you got to make everything positive as you can, and there's a lot of things that people don't want to do, but you know what? We got to get through them. You got to do them. You got no choice to a lot of these things. So as long as you can have fun while doing them and make the most of it, you're winning. You're going places. So I always like to think about that and to keep that in the back of my mind as no matter what you're doing, you got to have fun with it and while you're doing it, and that it's going to play a big role while you're doing things because nobody wants to do a lot of these things, even when we're quarantining. There's numerous and numerous amounts of ways to have fun, but it's up to you to make them, and up to you to go out and go strive for them. It's another thing, like when they say always reach for your goals and always go out for them, and never be happy and settled with where you are, because you could always do better, you could always be better, you could always learn more, you could always do this, you always do that. But all you got to remember is, while you're doing things, is you gotta strive for happiness, you gotta strive for fun, and you gotta make the most of everything you can, because with that attitude, it gets you a lot farther, and you're gonna hope for the best. So a strong attitude brings you a long way, and hopefully you guys already know that, because guys should be teaching me. But let's get back. Let's get back to a couple more words. We're not gonna go on for much longer for you guys, but we'll get you a couple words there and see where it goes. So I'm trying to think of a good one for you guys. So how about this? We'll go for a four letter word. We're gonna go for, as we got four viewers, but four words, four letter word. So let's see what we can get. All right. So these are this word. It makes a pair of something. So meaning you got two of them, and it's something that you see every day. You got to deal with every day, whether or not it's just walking in or walking out, just from coming in or going out. You might take something on and off. You might put these up when you're, say, relaxing or lounging and kind of hanging out around town, and you might kick back and put these things up. You usually wear a little something over them. Um, Usually throughout most times of the year. Summertime is a little bit less likely to have something covering these, because of so it's a lot hotter out. A lot more people are not wearing as much clothing out now. You don't need to wear your long sleeves. You're wearing more so of your tank tops, and with these tank tops, you're not always going to be wearing shoes or so, like socks, and you basically are going around barefooted, yes, or feet. I was thinking of the word feet. Foot is the single. Feet is you got a pair of feet. You don't got one feet, you got two of them. So that's always a good one. Thought you guys might get it, might figure that one out. I thought it's something you guys got to deal with every day, whether or not it's just putting your shoes on and walking outside, or coming back in and taking them off, or even just in the morning when you get out of bed. Sometimes a lot of people put their slippers on. Sometimes they put some socks on. They take their socks off. All different types of things. So throughout the day, you're usually gonna kind of see them, or one way or another. So not too bad. So let's get one more for you guys. We're gonna get a good one. We're gonna get a pretty good one for you guys, and I'm gonna go up in the ladders and see where we go from there. So I'm gonna I don't know yet. We're gonna find a good one for you guys to you know what? I found it. So it's gonna be a nice little six-letter word, and from there, basically, we're gonna see if you guys could get it. So the six letters, I believe, within this word, and I believe that most most people have these, or one way or another, everyone would have some type of these, and there's many different ways to look at them. There's no right one, there's no perfect one. Basically, you don't know how they come together, or how they form, but they kind of make this so-called thing, and it happens. And a lot of times when you have kids, you're gonna be starting one of these, and normally without the kids, you don't have one of these as much, but realistically, it's still known as one. A lot of times, even with people's dogs, they consider this. And basically, and until your kids move out of your house, you have this type of thing. And sometimes throughout the holidays, when you guys were little, like you would figure out, you would go see one of your in-laws relatives, or another word for relative might be known as something else. Can't give it away that easily to you guys, but eh, you you all got one way or another. You might have it with your pets. Um, you might have it with your mother and your father, or your grandparents, or there's endless ways to go about it. So, what do you guys think? Hmm, you guys got it. So, family, it's a strong thing. It's something you always want to keep around, and something that you always want to encourage people to join, because it builds a strong bond, and everyone needs that sense of family to kind of to help them out with things, and to be able to be there for them, and to show them that you're an important person, and everyone's got to know that. So pretty cool to see, little something different. But guys, make sure you're hanging out with your family during this time. Make sure you're doing everything you can to not get them sick, and that's kind of the realm of things right now with all this going on. We're really just hoping to get back, and can't wait for this to be over with, and done with, and we want to make the most of this. This is something that you can't really prepare for that easily. Um, it's hard not to go out and not to see people, and just throughout your day, you don't realize how many people you come into contact with. And we're trying to quarantine and trying to limit those amount of people that we're seeing. And I haven't been going out, I haven't been seeing anyone, I haven't been doing many things. So trying to make the most of it, stay busy, stay active, stay working as much as you can, guys. Keep working out, and all we could really do. So hang in there, guys. We're here for you. And please feel free to reach out to us if we can do anything for you. If we can, we'd be more than happy to. That's what we're here for. So thank you, guys, and hopefully this is gonna start getting better, and I think it's starting to. So that's all we could hope for. We're hoping for the best, and hoping to get on with this, and making sure that we do the best we can, and everyone stay safe out there, stay home, and we're here for you guys. So thank you, and have a great day, guys. Bye bye. We'll see you later.